Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with me for just a couple of minutes. Here, our focus is being better and healthier than yesterday. Are you better? Are you healthier than you were yesterday? Here, we don't compare ourselves to him or to her, we compare ourselves to who we were yesterday. Self improvement has no end, health has no finish line. They are lifelong journeys where we take it one day at a time, and here we do it together. So let's do this. Before I get into the main content, if you want to get in contact with me, email and Instagram are the best ways to get in contact. Email me at benpagedc@gmail.com and on Instagram, benpagedc. And if you're listening to this, go to Instagram, tag me on the episode, and I'll tag you right back, and we get to know each other. I love to get to know the community, and I would love to get to know you. So let's get on to the main content. Welcome back to the Wellness Farmer Podcast, episode 300. Yeah, this is a pretty special episode, 300. And today I have a very special guest with you. His name's Daniel Mancina. And he has a very inspiring story, and that's why I brought it today on episode 300. Sometimes we just need to be inspired to do our best in life and be grateful for what we have. So Daniel comes on today to share his story of how he is overcoming his challenges in his life. I hope you enjoy episode 300 of the Wellness Farmer podcast. Well, do I have an episode for you today? Welcome back to the Wellness Farmer podcast. Today is a really special guest that I've been trying to get to know just a little bit better, and I'm really excited to have on. And today his name's Daniel, and it's something that he does something that I did when I was young, but I don't do it much anymore, but I wish I can get back into it. He skateboards, but he not only skateboards, he does it in a way that most of us won't even believe is possible. So that's why it's so exciting to bring him on and see and hear his story and how he's been able to live his life to the fullest in a way that many would think would be very difficult. But before we get into this conversation, I'd just like Daniel, can you just introduce yourself to the audience and let them find
Yeah,
out
what's
who you are
up,
today?
man? How you doing? Yeah, glad to be here. Yeah, my name's Dan Mancina. I'm uh 35 years old from Michigan. I am completely blind. So I was born with a hereditary disease called retinitis pigmentosa. Pretty much just means that you lose your sight kind of slowly throughout your life, different for everybody. I lost mine around my mid 20s is when I kind of considered myself a blind person or legally blind. And then I've been total blind for about 5 years now. But yeah, I've been kind of skating my whole life. As a kid growing up, it's all I cared about. And as I got older, I kind of losing my vision and going through life and all this stuff. You know, I kind of put skateboarding behind me for a couple of years and then refound it. And then it's kind of become, just as important to me as it was when I was a kid. So, yeah, that's me. That's the very brief version of it.
Yeah, and I imagine there's a long story behind it, and I'd like to kind of dive into that because from what I can see, most people would probably just kind of give up once they find out that certain things are happening in their life, or they won't reach their potential as they could by taking challenges and turning them into opportunities. So when you first found out that you were losing your vision, I mean, how did you take that in? How was that like?
Well, I was 13 when I was diagnosed with RP. So, I mean, I didn't really think about it very much at all at that point. It wasn't until, it really started affecting my day to day life. And then, I don't know. I was bummed more so losing more of my vision and kind of really being thrown into the blind world. Um, yeah, but I always kept, you know, like trying to move forward, I guess, and always kept trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do in life. Um, had a really good support group though too, which is, with anything in life is very helpful having, a family and friends that have your back and support you and can help you in just in life, and growing and stuff like that. Um, but like I said, I was never like really, like it never really debilitated me to the point where, I ever thought about giving up necessarily. Um, I always, I had a kid very, very young, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to support my child. Kind of was more my mentality when I was losing my vision. I didn't really. That was my main concern at that point. How am I going to afford to support a family and stuff like that? So I kind of just focused on that, and I was going to school at the time, um, and just trying to figure life out. Mid 20s too, kind of figuring out who you are still a little bit. Um, yeah, that's what was going on then.
Was there ever a moment where you were like, why is this happening to me? And what
Hmm,
am I supposed to do about this? I mean, did it ever
that's a
just bring you
good.
to a point where you
That's a good
didn't feel
question.
like it?
Uh, Never really asked why. I guess I kind of just accepted it for what it is. I mean, knowing about it for so long, I kind of knew it was coming. So there wasn't that, real why, like a sudden, like it losing my vision all at once kind of deal. Um, I've always been just as a child, very uh, easygoing. Never really worried about much growing up. I've definitely become more with the more responsibility in life and more things to worry about. A little bit more jaded in that sense, but um, yeah, I've always just kind of more so accepted it for what it is. I mean, there definitely were times, very hard times for sure, of being just stressed and worried about, what am I gonna do? Um, how am I gonna, live? You know what I mean? I was living off, government social security disability, which is a very small amount of money. Um, and I soon realized, like, well, this is not enough to really live the life that I want to live. You know what I mean? It's just enough to survive. It's not enough to live. So I'm very concerned about life and what I was going to do for a while. And it's a big adjustment too of, trying to, at one point, I always bring this story up. There was a point where I couldn't leave the house I was living at. Like, couldn't leave the house and walk around the block without being with another person. So going and getting some training and learning how to use a white cane and learning about just the world of blindness and how to navigate and how to just function and do basic things was very important and was a big step in regaining my kind of confidence and identity and stuff like that. And it was right along that same time as when I started skating again too. So all these things kind of happened at once, where I got more confidence, started doing the things that I used to do. Everything from, I'm a big outdoorsman kind of guy, growing up in Michigan here, so fishing and all this stuff. So I was trying to do all those things again, and slowly realizing that I should just be doing the things that I want to do and not let my life be dictated by my blindness. So yeah.
Beautiful. And
Hmm.
when did you start skating? At what age?
I started rolling around, like just pushing around on a board around, I think, 7 or 9 or something. I don't know, right around there. And then like really seriously skating like 13. Um, right around 13, yeah, middle schoolish. I moved to a different neighborhood and met a group of kids who skated, and then really fell in love with it. Uh, and Scott, like, really involved, like watching all the videos and being stoked and learning about the whole culture and the progression of skateboarding. I came in at a really good time, and yeah, I just really fell in love with it. And just then moved to California right out of high school. Kind of lived and worked in the skate industry. Worked at like a surf skate snow shop. Lived a mile from the beach, would skate down, skate to work every day, and just fully immersed in it. And yeah, then I had a kid really young at that point in my life, where I kind of put all the skateboarding stuff on hold and really behind me. Then I went blind and really thought skateboarding was done, and something in the past, just kind of just a memory. Um, but slowly refound it as I was navigating my blindness and getting used to living as a blind person and kind of trying all these things again and relearning how to do things. Skateboarding was kind of one thing that I tried and didn't think I'd ever be able to really progress at it and then get the same fulfillment out of it. And then I just kind of slowly, after doing it literally just a little bit here and there, realizing, oh, maybe I can actually progress at this, and kind of got motivated to film another part, and kind of just slowly became my lifelong dream of being able to skate, and support myself off of skating, and just do that full time. So it's been wild.
Yeah, and it truly is that's the word wild because I remember because I used to skate through high school. Me and my cousin would get together, and that's what we'd do after school. We'd just always skate, and I
Uh-huh.
tried to become as good as I could. And I have all my faculties. I have everything. I have my vision. I have everything
Yeah.
to make it as simple as possible. And I remember, I mean, skating many hours a day. I mean, pop shoving off of three stairs, kick flips maybe if
Yeah.
I got lucky. I mean, it's not easy at all. It does take tons and tons of practice, and it does take
Hours and
some
hours.
talent too.
Yeah.
So when I see you doing all these things, like, oh my goodness. I mean, I never even got close to even close to being how good he was. And I put a lot of hours in it, and I
Yeah.
can see. So it really is mind blowing. And I think the people that are listening need to understand because they've probably never skated, but it is not easy and it takes a lot of time and a lot of talent. And that's why it
Yeah.
just blew my mind seeing someone that is using a cane to navigate, be able to do those tricks on places that I could never even do. And I spent so much time trying to become the best I could through my adolescent years, and it's just amazing, and I really want people to see what you're doing because it is
Yeah.
inspiring. It is inspiring, and it inspires me not just in who I am but what I'm trying to become. And it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be something like skateboarding. It can be in anything that you're pursuing in life. So it's something
Hmm.
beautiful that you're doing, and I appreciate what you're doing because not many people, not many, I don't know how many people would actually do that.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm in a unique situation where I had my vision, when I learned how to skate. And I mean, I put, like you said, as a kid, you're not thinking about how much time you're putting in, but I mean, it's looking back, it's, you know, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours every day of just skating, skating, skating. So just the hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of hours over the years, that you put in. And yeah, then I lost my sight vision, lost my vision later, and definitely have had to kind of relearn some things and figure out new techniques and change my style of skating. I used to skate different obstacles for sure, like more handrails and stuff like that. So I've had to change a lot of the way I skate. I've become more like of what's considered, I guess, a technical skater of skating like ledges or like a bench kind of, um, rails that are on the ground, excuse me, as opposed to downstairs. Um, so yeah, it's been a change, and then using the cane, figuring out a technique of uh, actually feeling the obstacle. When I first started skating, I had a little bit of residual vision. You'll see a lot of videos from 5 years ago. Like Red Bull has a big one that the first video kind of I did where I could see a little bit of shadows, and I used to skate tennis courts where I could see the white lines, a good contrast on the ground. I used to use that as a guide. Um, and then after losing my vision, I had to kind of relearn it again, where I developed this technique of actually reaching down and touching the obstacle with my free hand, which kind of changed the whole game for me and allowed me to become even more technical and be able to like flip in and flip out of stuff. So Yeah, it's been wild and kind of fun and keeps me, skateboarding for those who really love it. It becomes like that pursuit of progression, and trying to keep progressing slowly but surely. And kind of get obsessed with it. So it's been good to have that back in my life and have, my meaning back in life and my identity back as a skater and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into that. But I just want to emphasize one more time. I mean, it is hard just to keep your balance on a skateboard and then having to bend down and actually touch the thing you're going to ollie onto or do a trick onto. I mean, sometimes it's like, I mean, that's just hard right there.
Yeah,
Just
it's
be able to,
weird. It's weird. It takes a whole, yeah, my body's taking a toll, constantly leaning over and stuff. But yeah, it does. There's certain tricks that I still can't do because of that reason. Having to lean down and touch, certain skating backsides a little bit trickier where the obstacle's behind you. So I'm having to reach behind me and yeah, it gets tricky. It gets tricky.
and like 10, 20, 30 times more difficult. So I want
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
what I'd like to talk about is the beautiful part of your life of how you just decided to pursue something you love. And what did you have to do in your mindset to just go out and do that, knowing
Mm.
that it was going to be very, very difficult with the situation that you're in?
Um, as opposed, do you mean just skating in general or skating, I mean, I guess,
I,
I
what
don't know.
what
I
I'm
don't think of it as, go ahead.
what I'm saying, because most people will just end up just getting into a job and doing it because they have to figure out a way
Mm-hmm.
to somewhat how to provide for their daily, and they just forget about the things or put it on hold, the things they
Yeah,
truly
yeah.
love. But you decided, even though I have this impediment, I can't see, I love this. I'm going to get back into it. How did you, how did you make that? How did you form
Make
that
that jump.
mindset to be able
Well,
to do that?
that was, I mean, I did both of those simultaneously. So I was going back to school and I actually completed my master's degree in vision rehabilitation therapy. So there was a point when skateboarding kind of started to, I got a couple, I got sponsors and stuff like that, where I kind of could have made the choice of I was debating whether or not I should finish grad school. Or I had been accepted, but I had to move away to go to grad school. And I was debating whether I should just go full time skating or finish schooling. But I had to finish schooling because number one, it was being paid for through the state because I'm blind. So anyone who's blind, you can get a free education, and that's the most valuable thing, one of the most valuable things you can have. So I kind of just did both. I was able to do that and just kind of skate. My skateboarding definitely took a hit in the sense of just the amount of hours you have to put in during grad school. Um, but I just did both. You know what I mean? I made sure I finished that because skateboarding is such a you know fragile thing and the young man's game. So I have that to fall back on. And yeah, it just kind of worked out. Honestly, it's some luck, and definitely still have to really hold on to that focus of putting in those hours and continuing to skate and continuing to progress, um, and just balancing those your just life and what you love is a hard thing to do. But yeah, there's some days where I have to really force myself to go out and skate, especially right now when it's like 39 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it's cold. I got to force myself to go out there and do it some days. But I know that, you know, when I get in the streets and I'm actually filming and doing what the real part that I love of being, in the van and skating with the team and out on tour, that's when it kind of pays off and you feel good on your board. You can't beat that feeling. So balancing that time's hard. Um, and yeah, man, I just think I'm just the luckiest person in the world the way everything has worked out. Uh, I just know that when I am skating, this is kind of the mindset I try to keep is that I know that when I'm skating, um, the most is when I'm the happiest and when things seem to be going the best in my life. Um, so I have to make sure I remember that and to just keep skating because that's where all the positive things in my life have come from. Um, so I would say to anyone that that's kind of what you should do is find that thing that you love and make sure you keep doing that because you get so much positivity from that on your life, whether it be mentally, physically, or monetarily too, I guess too. Yeah, you can't hold on to those things. It's hard, like you said, when you got this life going on and kids and family. You got to etch some of that time out in your life to do the things that you love and be a much happier person.
And what's so important is what you said before too. It's not like it's going to be great every day. It's not like you're going to get out of the bed jumping going, awesome, I get to do this again. Sometimes there are
Yeah.
some moments that are difficult. And I think everyone needs to understand that it's not just like you're going to wake up happy every day doing what you love.
Hmm.
It's just not like that. Life has never been like that. There are going to even be hard times and difficult times, even while you're doing the things that you love. And
For sure. Yeah.
I think that's why most people scare away from it because they start to feel like, hey, I'm not having a good day today. So it must be something that's not worth it.
Hmm.
But those
Hmm.
times, those difficult times, what's going to would help you build the strength towards all the other challenges that we have in life. But as
For
you said,
sure. For sure. 100%. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, you're doing the things you love and you're just doing it to do it. It gets harder with the more stress in life, the older you get and more things that pile on. Yeah, it gets harder and harder for sure.
so so you were skating and getting your master's degree at the exact same time. I did not know that either.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just think back when I was going through chiropractic college, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even have enough time to do anything. So that just
Yeah, it's wild.
yeah, it just makes it even that more amazing. The people that have
Hmm.
studied through graduate school and then still making time to skate professionally with a team, that is incredible. I mean, that is just
Yeah.
really cool.
And skateboarding is cool because you have so much freedom, as a skateboarder. I mean, I have a lot of free time. It's really up to you to manage your skating. So yeah, it's a good career in the sense of I had more time than the average person. I didn't have like that. It's not like a job where it's 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You can do it whenever you want to do it. So it's good in that sense, and the freedom of having good sponsors and good people behind me that encouraged me to finish my education. And so yeah, you should totally do that, and gave me the freedom to do that was big. Um, yeah, education's huge. Now I have that in my back pocket and great tools to use in my skating now, where I teach workshops with visually impaired kids and stuff like that, and having this special training in the visually impaired vision rehab field um, has helped in that in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful how you continue to learn. I mean, and that's in every aspect of life. So I'm loving how you're talking about it's just not physically learning. So you're not just physically progressing in skateboarding, but you took time to mentally progress too, and mentally become smarter and other
Yeah.
things that you could help other people at. And we should all do that. We should always never stop learning, and that can be whatever it can be. I look back and I think learning is one of the most beautiful, innate, joyful things that we do as human beings, but it gets beaten out of us
Hmm.
because we go to school and they force us to learn things that we don't really want to learn, and we're like, learning's not fun anymore.
It's
But if
not.
when we were young, we learned because we liked to learn. It was joyful, and it seems like
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah,
trying to been beat out of us.
it's a lot like the having to get up and skate in the cold. You know what I mean? It's not fun most of the time for most things we have to learn in life. So doing it, yeah, I miss being on a. I mean, I'm on a grad school 3, 4 years now, but I miss the. You really can tell a difference in just how mentally being sharper when you are working and learning things. 5 to 10 hours a day. Um, yeah, I'm not as sharp as I was when I was in grad school and constantly learning new things. So I miss that. I should pick something else up and try to learn something too, because you do feel it. uh, Mentally, just everything from having conversations and stuff like that to just being sharper and more on point. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. Yeah, I should always try to be learning something new, whether it be you know playing guitar, language, or something like that.
Totally agree. I mean, as long as we're using those muscles to which the brain is use it, lose it too. As long as we're using
Hmm.
them and trying to help them improve, we will be better as human beings. And I totally agree with that. I
Hmm.
mean, what if you had to just say a couple things to help motivate someone, or maybe not even motivate, just a couple words to help someone realize that they do have the ability and they do have the potential to do great things, uh, what would you say? How would you do that using your example of your own life?
Yeah. I would just reiterate of, if there's something that you love, to just continue doing that. Like I said, I'm happiest when I make sure I make time to do the things that I love. For me, it's skating, so it could be whatever for you. But you know, when I'm not skating, I'm just you know so much more just bummed and not getting as much joy in life. So just holding on to those things, whether it be 20 minutes on your day, half hour on your day, or whatever you can do to do that. Keep pushing. I always say that's the name of my foundation, to keep pushing incorporated. Um, yeah, moving forward and always trying to learn something new or whatever it is. Really helps to it helps your future self. 5, 10 years down the road, when you keep doing things that you love, it all kind of adds up and pays off and makes you just a better person in the end. So yeah, make time for that little thing that you love. I would say it would be it's the important thing on a life is not just getting sucked into the 9 to 5 or whatever it is. Getting stuck in a routine can just suck the life out of you. So yeah, that's the best advice I can give. I'm not one for advice, but I just try to do do what I love, and hopefully that inspires others to do it. So
Oh, thank you, Daniel. And it is.
mm,
I see it and I was like, wow, I can do more. I see,
cool.
I see, and I was like, and that not
Thanks.
on a skateboard anymore, but I can do more. I can be better. I can be better to my family. I can be better to myself. I can be better to my
Yeah,
business. I mean, I can be better because I see people like you being better, right?
cool. Love it. Love to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I appreciate your time more than you know. And where can people find more about you? Because I really want people to check you out and see what you're able to do on a skateboard. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so YouTube, Dan the Mancina, and then Instagram's big too, Dan the Mancina. Those are the two areas I push the most. And then I actually have a shared page with my buddy Anthony Ferraro. A lot of people know him from TikTok. We have a shared page that we kind of collaborated on in our new venture. It's called Four Bad Eyes, FOUR. We have a podcast, Four Bad Eyes, and then across the board, Instagram, website, all that stuff, Four Bad Eyes. So yeah, and you can reach out to me, DM me on Instagram. You can email me, dan@fourbadeyes.com. Um, yeah, give those things a check out. Really pushing the YouTube right now is my big goal and trying to grow that. So Yeah, I appreciate all the love, and I answer all the messages people send me. I run my whole page. I use a screen reader, so everything reads to me out loud. Pretty much anything I touch on the screen. So it's all me on there. So feel free to reach out, and yeah, I reach back to everybody.
Awesome. That's a great way to build community. Go out,
Yeah,
please go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and check him out
cool,
because you will enjoy what you see. I can promise you that. Even if you're not a skater, you will enjoy what you see.
nice. Yeah,
I get
it's very skating based, heavy skating based, and then I do like yeah, I have a bunch of old videos of me doing random things. Like I started doing things you wouldn't expect a blind person to do, like throwing a bullseye and darts and all these kind of fun things. So every now and then I sprinkle in some new videos of me doing just random things, cooking to how I pretty much live as a blind person and kind of making fun of it and just enjoying life. So check it out.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great way to end. Enjoy life. Thanks
Well,
again for coming on, Daniel.
thank you. Appreciate it, man.
I sure hope you enjoyed episode 300 as much as I did talking to Daniel. Hopefully, you were inspired. It is crazy how I see in my own life that little things can get me down, and I can look at other people's lives and see, wow, things they've been able to overcome and continue to enjoy life. Let's continue to enjoy life even through life's challenges. I'm glad we were able to get Daniel on and talk about that. But before I go, remember, this is a grassroots movement. If we want to become the best we possibly can and help as many people as possible, we have to do this together. This is one person at a time. It's not going to be told in it's not going to be told in mainstream media. This has to come through us individually. And a great way to help this get to the masses is by leaving a review of this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave a review. I read every one of them and I appreciate them more than you know. If you never want to miss an episode of a podcast and get a book absolutely free, Earth and Us Heal Naturally, and also a guide on how to decrease unnecessary pain, absolutely free, go to my website, pastosbetterthisfarm.com, and download that guide to decrease unnecessary pain, or in other words, chronic pain. Absolutely free. If you want to help me out, especially in this Christmas season of giving, you want to support me and what I am doing, a great way to do that is by purchasing my books, Playing in the Dirt, The Four Pillars of Health, and a short ebook called Mental Wellbeing Made Simple, all available on my website, pastosbetterthisfarm.com, and also available on amazon.com, my books, The Four Pillars of Health and Playing in the Dirt. If you're listening to this, I'm going to make it even easier to give my books as gifts. If you buy from my website using the code GIFT, you get another 30% off of each book you buy if you buy more than one. So go to Pastels Better This Farm, order more than one book, give them as gifts, and at checkout, write in gift and you get even a bigger discount. Another great gift is my conference health. It's helping more and more people, and I'm just loving hearing what people are saying about it. I'm going to start sharing more reviews here on the podcast so you can see how awesome this salve really is, how awesome comfrey is, the plant, and how it helps us heal even faster. It's a great way for any type of arthritic pain and anything that needs to heal. Breaks, bumps, bruises, falls, scrapes, sprains, strains. It's perfect to help the body heal those even faster so you get back to who you are even faster. And finally, if you want to talk to me and get in contact with me personally and really go deeper into how we can take our connection to nature and earth and make it and bring it into the forefront of our journey for greater health and well-being, join my subscription. Join my subscription at pastelsvetterthisfarm/subscription, and let's start this journey of healing together. Let me be one of those guides that helps you become your best you. Hope to talk to you personally very soon.